What's going on, everyone? Happy Monday, and welcome back to another edition of our Monday night online open mic. My name is Richie David Marrufo. I'll be your MC and host, and I'm coming to you live and alive from the 915, El Paso, Texas, home of the locomotive. I went to a match the first time this weekend, so I'm like, they gave away a bucket hat. I had to wear it, you know. That's it. That's it. But anyway, thanks for tuning in. If you've been here before, as always, welcome back. It's always great to see all the familiar names and faces in the live chat. So if you are tuning in, it's always really nice to see that you are here with us. The live chat the best way to see who is here. So say hello. If you're tuning from anywhere else in the world, that is always really fun to know. And as always, as we listen to everyone, please feel free to share the aspects of their poems, their pieces, of their songs that you enjoy. Maybe it's something you can relate to or have a connection to in some way. Maybe you learned something new or something just really shook you in your soul, into your bones. Let us know. That's a really great way to get some feedback. Plus, quite a few of us hang out in the live chat anyway. Performers, as always, I know we have pretty much all regulars today. As always, do your thing. Feel free to share your social media accounts, YouTube channels, links where we can purchase books, chapbooks, merchandise, anywhere, any way we can support you. That's really the way it goes. Hello, hey, welcome, Elizabeth. Good to see you here. Welcome, welcome. Good to see you. Thanks for tuning in with us. If you are tuning in for the first time, also, of course, welcome. We've been doing this since April of 2020. Obviously, we know what happened around that time, and a lot of people needed some space, a place to vent, to still kind of create and share their art. And so here we are in August of 2025, still here. And there's been a lot that's still going on. We're still fighting, we're still loving, we're still creating, we're still trying our best out there in the world. So, yeah, thanks for tuning in. Again, so I mentioned that we're out of El Paso, Texas. I do have to mention that we do have quite a few things going on this week in the world of BWOMS, the Barbed Wire Open Mic Series. First of all, Tuesday, as always, we will be downtown. Join us at Mona Bar of Modern Art. That is our Everything Goes open mic. Okay, so music, poetry, comedy, improv, dance. If you do mime stuff, we've had a mime show up. We've had a couple mimes show up over the years. We've been doing it a long time. Mind readers, I don't know, magicians. We have magicians. Anyway, just if you want to come out and share some sort of talent, performance, art of any sort, come on through. Sign up starts at 8, show starts at 9. That's on San Antonio Street. Wednesday, we have Storycraft. Now, there is a caveat because this morning I actually did post an update video, but it turns out we have a little bit of a scheduling conflict with the venue. So we're going to cast the magic spell. And for this week, we're going to be teleported to a temporary venue. It's a place that I work at as well, called Power at the Pass in South Central El Paso. So we will be updating that information possibly tomorrow, maybe even shooting a promo for that. But we hate to inconvenience you guys who do plan to go out. It's usually a lot of fun. Um, so yeah, that's Storycraft. If you guys have any kind of poetry, I'm sorry, if you have any kind of prose, fiction, nonfiction, even if it's any kind of script writing, a screenplay, bring it out and get some feedback from the audience. It's always a lot of fun. It's going to be a little different this time because we will be at an art studio, co-work space called Power at the Pass in South Central. It's close by. What's up, Jesse? Thanks for tuning in. Jesse in the house. We got Julian as well and Ed, who will be reading today as well. Julian and Ed will be reading. So anyway, like I said, if you guys are here, say hello. Also, if you are here as an EPCC student for the Tejano Passport program, then you can actually find instructions on how to get that in the description of the video. And just in general, if you are watching and you feel like you want to share something, if you have a poem that you've written, if you just have some thoughts you want to get out of your head, there's a link to sign up as well in the description. There's still enough room. So if you feel the courage to step on up, come on through. Okay, so a lot of things going on. I talked about Storycraft. Thursday, we have a special jazz and poetry night at International. That's downtown El Paso on Mill Street, right by San Jacinto Plaza. I will be one of the featured poets along with Fernando Antonio Montejano, aka the King Grizz, as well as Kiwi. So we got 3 poets and we have 3 amazing jazz musicians who've been holding it down in the city for years, mainly Billy Towns on keys. He is phenomenal. If you've never seen him play live, you're missing out. He's a real treat. He just really gets into it. The the piano starts smoking, he goes hard. Eddie Provencio on drums, who organizes and hosts those jazz nights, as well as David Rodriguez, who just does amazing, kills it every time. So that's Thursday from 9 p.m. to 11:30 p.m. Come check it out. And that's just really if you guys want to support us. It's always nice to see friendly faces there, or if you just want to try something new in town. If you know anyone who might like that, let them know. That's Thursday at International Bar. And finally, Friday, we have the return of a unique event we have called Roulette Recitations. That is an open mic decided by chance. And really what I mean is a spin of a wheel. I have a giant roulette wheel, and if you're going to perform, we'll put your name on there, and each the performance order is just decided by spinning it. Jovini Bronson's is a great neighborhood, community-oriented cafe that I've been going to since it's opened. We've collaborated for many of those years, but we've been doing open mics there. We had one for my birthday. That was a whole lot of fun. I give away a lot of my extra books that I had accumulated over the years from local authors, and I was happy to give them away. So we usually have giveaways. Come through, hang out. That starts at 7. Sign up starts at 7. We're gonna try and start the open mic portion around 8:20 ish until about 10. So it's kind of more fast paced, but it's also chill. I think if you do show up at 7, I have some surprise writing prompts for you guys because I'm doing a collaboration with Pi Music for an event the following Thursday. And if you guys write something, maybe you might be able to perform it at that event. But anyway, I'll put a bookmark on that for now. There's a lot going on. Man, it's big announcements, I know, but this is the part of the show where I talk the most. Other than that, I'll try and shut up. First of all, happy birthday to Robin Schofield. She has her book Ridge of High Pressure at local bookstores in Old Paso. We'll be reading in just a moment. And also, my buddy Daniel, his book Still Desert from Bun Poetry releases officially August 5th, so you can find it at Bun Poetry. El Pasoan, published. Bun Poetry. Go check it out. We're still trying to organize a type of reading and release with him, but for now, buy a book. That way, so when we do have that, you can get it signed. Um, and later this month, we're going to welcome back to the city Joaquin Cihuatanejo. He was the inaugural poet laureate of San Antonio. Cool dude. He came a couple years ago and did a little workshop and presentation at Power at the Pass, actually. So we're gonna do something with Writers Night at the end of the month. I mean, I'm sorry, I meant Dallas. I said San Antonio. I meant Dallas. Thanks to Kit, as always, for having my back in that regard. As you can tell, I've had a lot of announcements. It's Monday and my brain's already scrambled. Anyway, thanks for tuning in, guys. Say hello in the chat. We're gonna go ahead and start the mic though, and just like any other open mic, if you want to perform, all you have to do is sign up. The link is in the description of the video, like I mentioned earlier. But we're going to go ahead and join our friends from all over, not just El Paso, but from all over the country and all over the world. And we're going to kick things off as we've done so many, many times. A proper mic with a not so proper mic. Well, just kidding. I made that joke last week. We got Mike Sindler to kick things off. So, Mike, when you're ready, go ahead and take it away. Good to see you, man.
Yeah, yeah, good to see you and good to see everybody here. I also want to say happy birthday to the poet laureate of BWOMS and Tumble Words. Um, yeah, well deserved. I also, as usual, want to give a little plug to lighthouseriders.org. A lot of new classes starting soon, so well worth checking it out, see what's coming up. Um, I'm hoping that David will be able to come check out. Actually, David did go to Lighthouse, but the thing he thought was there wasn't going on. Hopefully, he'll go back when there is something. Um, and hopefully, we'll see him back here. That would be nice. Um, excuse me, see them back here. For some reason, uh, somebody was actually in here and I'm looking at all my stuff and I'm like, well, this is why I can't have a cat because I have too much stuff everywhere. And so it just made me think about cats because I love cats. So I'm going to do some cat stuff. This first one's called Claim Me, Tame Me. You've almost surely passed. You would be nearly 20 now, ancient for a feline, but maybe not. No matter. You are still, to me, that proud kitten who walked up the hill with your sister and made me yours, claim me, tame me, pulled me out of hurt with constant purr, nestling or following on slow hikes with Sham, watching us coughing by the side of the road, footstep close, keeping me safe, ever vigilant. And when we moved away, one mountain over, you adapted better than me, even without your sister. Then the long journey to Poughkeepsie, where I left you with a woman I did not love but knew loved you as an extension of me. As I flung myself on westward, away and toward and torn, sure I would not see you again, and I was right. 20 years is nothing. You are my sweet kitten forever, waking up, walking up in dreams, claiming me, taming me. And the next one is a little more humorous. It's Felis catus. My dreaded striped brother burns bright, great maned plains walker sleeps in sun, jet black silent stalker embodies night. I rule the rooms of compliant beings, more than willing to bend to my will. I demand and they mindlessly obey. Run sharp-toothed blade round canned prey, saving me the effort of the hunt, captive to my wavering, petulant desires. They clear away my sandy excrement. They lay bare their laps to be my throne. My scent mark announces they are owned. They clear away. I command the method of massage. Deviation gets my claw. I rest where I wish, but love the cubic cardboard best. Beyond glass, birds and squirrels taunt, but what I have is more than they could dare to dream of or desire to possess. My larger siblings of forest, of jungle, or of savanna cannot hope to be as proud, as majestic, and undisputed rulers as I am. Only the stupid dog disrupts my plan. And this is a short one. It's called Who's in Charge? I have a cat named Mr. Who that I serve as an attendant to. Every morning of every day starts in the exact same way. My cat will jump up on the bed, lay himself atop my head. In my ear, he softly whines, telling me it's feeding time. Until I rise and make his meal, he'll make sure I have to deal with clawing motions on my chest, making sure I get no rest. With no regard for personal space, he sticks his tail end in my face. I know that his loud meow means not later, servant, feed me now. Once my feet have hit the floor, he makes sure I know what I'm here for, scampering over to his empty dish to demand I give in to his wish. There's no doubt who is in charge, though he is small and I am large. So every morning, without fail, we recreate this familiar tale. And I'm going to go ahead and put on the hat here and read a couple things. This first one is we said it's Robin's birthday, so I'm going to read one by one of her favorite writers, Rilke, and it's called Black Cat. A ghost, though invisible, still is like a place your sight can knock on, echoing. But here within this thick black belt, your strongest gaze will be absorbed and utterly disappear. Just as a raving madman, when nothing else can ease him, charges into his dark night, howling, pounds on the padded wall, and feels the rage being taken in and pacified. She seems to hide all looks that have ever fallen into her, so that, like an audience, she can look them over, menacing and sullen, and curl to sleep with them. But all at once, as if awakened, she turns her face to yours, and with a shock, you see yourself tiny inside the golden amber of her eyeballs, suspended like a prehistoric fly. And I'm going to do one more. This is by Mark Van Doren, who's an excellent poet that unfortunately is not as well known as he should be anymore. It's called Midwife Cat. Beyond the fence, she hesitates and drops a paw and tries the dust. It is a clearing, but she waits no longer minute than she must. Though a dozen foes may dart from out the grass, she crouches by, then runs to where the silos start to heave their shadows far and high. Here she folds herself and sleeps. But in a moment she has put the dream aside, and now she creeps across the open, foot by foot, till at the threshold of a shed she smells the water and the corn, where a sow is on her bed, and little pigs are being born. Silently she leaps and walks all night upon a narrow rafter, whence at intervals she talks. Wise to them she watches after. Okay, thank y'all very much. And we got a ton of really great poets to come, so I'm looking forward to it.
Absolutely. Same here. And as always, thanks for kicking it off and setting the bar. Mike Sindler, everyone. All right. And we're gonna go ahead and go from Denver from to where Mike is at to back to El Paso, where we have Ed Gonzalez up next. And Ed, always great seeing you. I think I was just texting Jess and we confirmed Rally Point for this month. So as always, look forward to seeing you there. All right, when you're ready, go ahead and take it away.
Great news. Thanks so much. Thank you. Thank you. Just wanted to say happy Monday, y'all, to regulars and YouTubers. I'm gonna try to get right to it quickly. Let's see, just wanted to say happy birthday, Robin. And in lieu of gifts, I'm gonna do a rain dance for you, fingers crossed. See if I can get some rain going. Yeah, if it triggers a drought, I'm doing the best I can here. I got two tumble words and one new piece for me and one cover. I'm gonna go ahead and get right to it. As soon as I get back together. Okay. My first tumble word was entitled Peace, and it was this past tumble words um, this past Saturday by the great Kelly Mary McAllister. Peace. My state of mind is a constant battle. Like my contemplation practice, it's a place to resume focus on breath. I lost it for a long while in retail. Although I did revel in conflict, it's not good for the body or the mind. Now I long for peace and aim at grace. I see the disgruntledness on the faces of my family. But when returning to grace, I see differences in the faces of my grandchildren's faces. And I am peaceful, and my smiles are their smiles, and vice versa. My goals are different now. I opt for peace, and in my spare time, I can still beat myself up. There's nobody better at that than me. It's nice to have options. That was number one. Let's see. Okay. And this is my second tumble words entitled Remember. Everything I want to remember. I want everything. I want to remember everything. I used to have a great fear of dying until I took my father-in-law to the hospital for the 100th time. Actually, it was the last time. While in the hospital bed, he fell into a very deep sleep. In REM, he started laughing. the kind that prompted happy tears from the whole room. He began speaking Cuban. It's very he began speaking Cuban to several different relatives, all who had passed on. There was such an expression of joy. When he woke, he said, "Take me home. I'm not dying here." And we did. It was the happiest I've ever seen him. He was with us for another 3 days until the ambulance was called. I grabbed his hand as they pulled him by me in the gurney. Until we meet again, Don Ramon. All right. And this one this was some new stuff that I'm working out, so I'm gonna work it out real quick. It's really short. It's entitled Expanded. Self-care is necessary to be prepped for what must be done. That fear they're spreading amongst the spineless right and their cult members. It's constricting of mind and body. Tending to ourselves, whatever that entails. For myself, that's a contemplation practice and minding my mind. Keeping the blood and breathing flowing clear for whatever happens. To help and ensure peace in my family. Keeping minds open, not constricted with fear. Beginning with ourselves and the rest of the US, a massive smudge fest, cleansing the negative and spreading our cleansing smoke throughout. Giant smudge fest. Let's see how we can get that going. Maybe the good old Don will shrivel up and die. Anyway, my last one is from the great Aldo Amparan. Banquet with Copper and Rust. Oh boy, I'm getting slipping. All right, I got it. Banquet with Copper and Rust. I pushed 2 pennies into the slit of your eyelids for the ferryman. I've been trying to let go of you, tying a knot in my gullet to remember you, not shedding. We eat hot porcelain shards, pick off the splinters off of our teeth with silverware. Our mother chokes on the coins and rust, varnishes her vocal cords. I speak to her about my future children. They're a recurring dream about the orchard, where each tree sports a hanging, a dream knitted from the past, or for the future near. What history unchanged? Don't want death to hang its shadow over my children. But brother, what stories can I tell them of you? All right. Okay, that was the great Aldo Amparan. And I'm going to finish off with thank you, BWOMS, Richie, Kit, also prompting the El Paso Poetry Workshop group. And I wanted to say one thing really in honest and all truth. Really had an experience today real fast. To leave each day, to set some time for yourself, whether it's to meditate, whether it's to drink coffee, whether it's to do 15 shots of tequila, whatever it's going to do to get you back into peace, back into calm. Today at the dojo, right at the end of forms, actually had to carry one of the grandparents out, waiting for EMS. I'm not sure what happened to him, but we carried him out and we put him in a chair outside for the ambulance to come get him. And that sort of stuff just gets me thinking. Everybody, peace and love. That's just make some time for yourself, at least every day, even if it's a couple minutes. So that's all I got. Peace and love, everybody.
Oof. All right. Thank you, Ed. As always, for the poems, the gratitude, and then that advice right there. Yeah. Thanks. So everyone listening there, take that to heart. Oh, yeah, I've been trying to find a little bit of that as well lately. So that's a reminder for me too. All right. Okay. So, if you are just tuning in, welcome to our online mic. If you are curious to learn more, There's a bunch of information in the description of the video. Just, wherever you are on your mobile, your computer, check that out. There's a link to sign up there's a link to sign up if you want to perform, but there's also information about the EPCC Tejano passport code if you're a student. But she's already been name dropped several times. A few performers in, an amazing poet in our community who we all look forward to. And not only is she a master poet, she's a master gardener, always so stylish. It's her birthday, so a big birthday welcome to Robin Schofield. Happy birthday, Robin.
Thanks, Richie. Hey, everybody. Happy Monday. And it's been a good birthday for me. I'm gonna read a couple of no, I'm only gonna read one long one because it's way long. But it's kind of funny in places. And it's a warning to all you people who think the lottery will change your life for the better. The law of zero. You can't unwin the lottery, not ever. While boundary conditions preordain the arrow of time. 0, 1, 2, 1 picked 3 last night. What are the odds? What a reservoir imagination used to be. Every electron the same in a small, seemly cosmos of winged turtles, blue quarks, tiger pills, non-Euclidean trees, free from angles, planes, coordinate grids. The daily details at play like monkeys. The second law of thermodynamics is really third in order, though it's disorder that matters. For an accumulation of frozen accidents to become matters that disorder and alternate fluctuations in our accounting. The path is a system of history that leads under Bougainvillea. Then we cross the bridge over an oval goldfish pond where tea roses distill lavish perfume. There is order here, except for stands of tomatoes where yellow mildew rages. They must be pulled and burned like weeds not thrown on the compost. The rock wall keeps out disorderly traces of jackrabbits reproducing in thorny roots. So we add up the quick and the dead, the end of our system of accounting, and wonder why any system never beat the lottery. The odds so great, 14 million to 1, a ratio that can hardly be imagined, though we know imaginary numbers also exist as ever. The heat of the day dissipates as we sit on a flat rock in the garden among the tea roses, watching the goldfish flicker in mossy water back and forth under the bridge. Equilibrium returns as the rock's garnered heat spreads into our bum. Tonight's drawing is for 9 o'clock on TV, when even the numbered spheres of Powerball must settle down, but not entirely according to the zero law of temperature. There is no heat without work and product, no machine spitting order without exhausting. Disorders increasing. That's the second law. Heat works like water. There's flow involved. In the lottery is no exchange of energies. Chaos follows. Just ask the winners of these random riches. Look up court cases. Find brother set upon brother. Bankruptcy, cocaine. The Florida winner who bought the condo, rented the Mercedes-Benz, and ran up every credit card eager banks sent for her to sign. The winner in Denton, who ran for mayor and won. Nature loves chaos. We neglected the garden over summer. The tea roses in ruins sag off the wall, kinetic energy off kilter, the pond green with algae, home to millions of mosquitoes and only 1 or 2 goldfish, all combinations of molecular motions being equally likely. As the garden wastes away in summer, we find more paths we have not seen before. The more disordered the paths, the more thrilling to discover the stray lantana, thriving oleander or red-winged blackbird darting through the unplanned cottonwoods. Absolute zero is approached, but the motion of molecules can be never quite stilled. If all froze, then nothing would move again. Motion keeps it all still moving. Numbered balls bounce a bunch in the vigorous body, 10 to the 24 rubber atoms. What potential for leaping over in quantum imagination all that turns to the cold smoke of entropy. Again, we have not won, though we picked 3 numbers out of our thermal reservoir, anticipating that the zero law foregrounds equilibrium, return to a rhythmic state where no energy is lost, but only changed. Now that autumn's come, we'll dig a new flower bed and water the compost heap. Decay is all the riches we'll ever earn. All right, thank you for indulging me on that a little bit and reading that long one. And then I want to read a birthday poem by the guy who wrote the greatest birthday poems. But he had this birthday tradition, Dylan Thomas did, of taking the number of shots as how old he was, right? So he survived until, was it 37? Kid? 39, thank you. I was close, darn it. So this is what he wrote the morning of his birthday, one year. Dylan Thomas. It was my 30th year to heaven, woke to my hearing from harbor and neighbor wood, and the mussel pooled and the heron priested shore. The morning beckoned with water praying and call of seagull and rook, and the knock of sailing boats on the net-webbed wall. Myself to set foot that second in the still sleeping town and set forth. My birthday began with the water birds and the birds of the winged trees, flying my name above the farms and the white horses. And I rose in rainy autumn and walked abroad in a shower of all my days. High tide and the heron dived when I took the road over the border, and the gates of the town closed as the town awoke. A spring full of larks in a rolling cloud, and the roadside bushes brimming with whistling blackbirds, and the sun of October summery on the hill's shoulder. Here were fond climates and sweet singers suddenly come in the morning where I wandered and listened to the rain-ringing wind blow cold in the wood far away under me. Pale rain over the dwindling harbor and over the sea-wet church the size of a snail, with its horns through mist and the castle brown as owls. But all the gardens of spring and summer were blooming in the tall tales beyond the border and under the lark-full cloud. There could I marvel my birthday away, but the weather turned around. It turned away from the blithe country and down the other air, and the blue altered sky streamed again, a wonder of summer, with apples, pears, and red currants. And I saw in the turning so clearly a child's forgotten mornings when he walked with his mother through the parables of sunlight and the legends of the green chapels. And the twice told fields of infancy that his tears burned in my cheeks and his heart moved in mine. These were the woods, the river, and sea, where a boy, in the listening summertime of the dead, whispered the truth of his joy to the trees and the stones and the fish in the tide. And the mystery sang alive, still in the water and singing birds. And there could I marvel my birthday away, but the weather turned around. And the true joy of the long dead child sang burning in the sun. It was my 30th year to heaven, stood there then in the summer noon, though the town below lay leaved with October blood. Oh, may my heart's truth still be sung on this high hill in a year's turning. Wow, I'm glad nobody told Dylan Thomas not to use adjectives. So, that's a great poem, and to think he only had eight or nine more years to live. Wow. But he was kind of a rock star poet, so two things against him. So next week at Tumblewords, it's me. I'm doing it, and it's going to be called Investing in Your Language Bank. And it's going to be fun. We're going to be listening to each other and shifting sounds around and maybe even making up new words. Who knows? It'll be fun. So come to Tumblewords 1 to 3 Mountain Time on Saturdays on Zoom. Contact Kit Wren for the Zoom link. Okay, Richie, back to you.
All right, that does sound like fun. And what a birthday poem. Glad you're enjoying yours. Yeah, definitely echoing Robin's message. Check out Tumblewords, especially all of you out there listening who are telling yourself you need to write more. First step is actually doing it, and Tumblewords is a great way to do that. And put yourself around other writers. That's a great thing to do as well. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and, as I mentioned, we thanks to the magic of technology and the snap, we can travel all around the country, all over the world. And in fact, right now we're gonna go to South Euclid, Ohio, where we have Doc Janning next up on the mic. Doc, when you're ready, go ahead and take it away. Hello, hello.
Hello, hello, hello. This is the voice of time. The voice of time is heard in echoes of life, the breath of the wind and movement of water. It shouts in its silence for all to hear, in the voice of storms, in the voice of earthquake and volcano. It is expressed in the sounds of stars, the thrum of black holes, and the growl of galaxies. It speaks the Big Bang, the depth of dimensions, infinity of its pathways, and steady state of entropy. And its voice is the voice of the multiverse in all its manifestations, the voice of infinity. This is a very new love poem. It's titled A Dream Beyond. Dreaming beyond dreams, seeing beyond sight, I gaze at you, gaze into your soul in the intimacy of darshan and the forever of love. My heart is captivated, captured by the magic of yours. I am immersed, lustrated in your gentle warmth. The puzzle of me is complemented, completed. I feel whole and, at long last, home. Threads of infinity. Threads spun from the essence of time and space, the intimacy of darshan and the communion of Tonglen. We are woven on the quantum loom of bliss, woven into a tapestry of us, a joyous tapestry a tapestry of life, a tapestry spangled with kisses, caresses, hugs, and kafune. And within the tapestry, wrapped and robed by an infinity of understanding, we become a certainty in an infinity of love. Poetry is the language and articulation of moments, the conjuration of one state from another, and the irreproducible acts found within, which survive empires and infinity. It is found in the ruach and colors of science and a familiarity with the unfamiliar. It is an awakening and a yearning for a dream which was, but never was. It exists in another way to be alive and in vivid sensory details of time. It is a luminous instrument of intimacy on which is played the infinite language of the multiverse. It transports and translates life in sound and symbol to a place of understanding and to a place of peace. And I will finish with, in the poetry of life. In the poetry of life, we meet ourselves in myriad ways, in an infinity of moments, always becoming, always connecting. Each moment a stanza, expressing its difference in the intimate silence of inscapes. Each moment surrendering to the next in an infinite progression, a progression which begins at the end and ends at the beginning. Each moment a vision, a hope, and a meditation on rhythms and cycles of existence. And the self, a unique identity, is born of the poem, I am. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Doc. Any quick announcements, promotions?
Nothing. Thank you.
All righty then. Well, as always, thanks for joining us on this Monday night. Good to see you. Doc Janning, everyone. Go look him up. Which got his book. All right. We are gonna go from Ohio to Massachusetts, where we have some poetry and a cappella music from Storm. So, Storm, when you're ready, go ahead and take it away. The stage is yours. Welcome back.
Okay. And I'm wondering if Robin is there. Robin, are you still with us?
Yes, yes, of course.
I'm going to put my hat on for you. And I've got a candle. And if you show your face, you can blow it out.
Oh, okay.
Takes a while to get across country. Happy birthday.
Thank you.
Yay. In a couple of days, it will be August 6th. August 6th is Hiroshima Remembrance Day. A few days after that will be August 9th, which is Nagasaki Remembrance Day. This year is the 80th commemoration of the days that we dropped bombs on those cities, atomic bombs. And so that's what my pieces are about tonight. No nukes prayer. Let our peaceful protests carry to the world the words of danger, first spoken by the shadows of the flowers burned onto the walls of Hiroshima. Hiroshima Memorial Candlelight Vigil. The people stand as if they were the shadows that were burned onto the walls when the flash appeared. Their faces seem to have lost their skin, but their hair won't fall out. Flames flicker like ashes. As before, in the center, there is no noise. A letter to Death. Hey, Mr. Death, you know you've got quite a following around here. What with the junkies, muggers, assassins, and all. The Ku Klux Klan keeps you well provided for too, I suppose. Yet what I'd like to know is this. Did you celebrate with cake and candles when they dropped the bomb on Hiroshima? Political non-cooperator. Another week passes and she remains in jail. Another week passes and yet another, and she remains in jail. How much longer will we have to wait for true words, hearing encapsulated reports and rumors? Another week passes and she remains in jail. Another week passes and she remains in jail, refusing to give her name, to accept food, to walk or follow orders. Another week, all this for a country that doesn't desire to be saved. All this because we love the land. All this because we are the earth's children, and she does not belong to us. Another week, another week. How many more times will steel doors close? How many more of us will choose to lose our freedom? For how long? Because we are seeking to change this world. Another week passes, and yet another, and she remains in jail. I heard the angels crying over Hiroshima. They were weeping for the people who were dying. I heard the angels crying over Hiroshima. They were weeping for the people who were dying. Early in the morning, the planes arose and flew to their target for their day. Early in the evening, they returned to base, and one was the Enola Gay, and one was the Enola Gay. Well, some of them had been told that the bomb they carried was new. But what did they think when they understood, when their grisly work was through? When their grisly work was through. I heard the angels crying over Hiroshima. They were weeping for the people who were dying. I heard the angels crying over Hiroshima. They were weeping for the people who were dying. The pilot said, the target's in sight. It's time now to drop the bomb. The lever was pulled, the panel lit up, and there was an unearthly calm. And there was an unearthly calm. A short while later, the bomb hit its mark, and a mushroom cloud arose. The heat given off burnt up flesh as easily as clothes, as easily as clothes. I heard the angels crying over Hiroshima. They were weeping for the people who were dying. I heard the angels crying over Hiroshima. They were weeping for the people who were dying. Buildings caved in, streets gave way. In the center, there was no sound. People disappeared, though their shadows remained. There was destruction all around. There was destruction all around. But it was 2 weeks later, we really began to know the final scores. People still were dying, having hair fall out, bearing deadly swords, bearing deadly swords. I heard the angels crying over Hiroshima. They were weeping for the people who were dying. I heard the angels crying over Hiroshima. They were weeping for the people who were dying. The years have passed, so many more have died. We remember them today. Now it's time, we told the world, to stop acting in this way, to stop acting in this way. I heard the angels crying over Hiroshima. They were weeping for the people who were dying. I heard the angels crying over Hiroshima. They were weeping for the people who were dying. I heard the angels crying over Hiroshima. They were weeping for the people who were dying. Remember me, a stranger who came to stay a while. Remember me, a happy man, a joke, a laugh, a smile. Remember how my actions spoke of God and love. Remember how I soothed you through my gestures and a hug.
All right. Thank you, Storm. As always, feel free to post those links for yourself there on the group chat. We'll forward it.
People's Music Network for Songs of Freedom and
Yeah.
Struggle, peoplesmusic.org. We have an international song swap coming up that if you join and become a member, you can participate in, and it'll be on Zoom to participate in, or you can actually watch it and catch it afterwards on YouTube. And Daily Antidote, a song, 12 noon Eastern, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. Presenter from somewhere in the world comes, does a song or two, and is interviewed. Fantastic community on Zoom, and come join us.
All right. Thank you. Okay, next up we have Sam, Julian, and Carlos. So be ready, guys. But as always, we're gonna be joining our next performer, another poet, right outside of New Orleans. We have Sam Hardy. Hey, Sam. Hello. Happy Monday and welcome back. When you're ready, go ahead and take it away.
Hey, thanks a lot. So I have some new poems. Let's see here. The first one is called Not the Flu, and it has a epigraph. It didn't start with me, but it ends with me. This is not the flu. You don't get over it. You don't drink water, sleep it off, and wake up whole again. This isn't a cold. It's a curse. Spit into the bloodstream, generation after generation. You want to call it trauma, fine, but call it what it is, a generational epidemic. Not a phase, not a mistake, not some bad night we should try to forget. No, it sticks, it scars. It teaches little girls how to dissociate before they learn division. It makes them flinch at kindness and confuse it for bait. They say she should have spoken up. I say, how? When her mother never did, when grandma couldn't, when every woman before her was silenced with shame and labeled crazy for naming it, for calling it what it was, rape. This is a sickness, but it's not in us. It's in the silence, in the systems, in the way you still ask, what was she wearing instead of why the predator was watching in the first place. I'm tired of the hush, of forgiveness without confession, of predators writing apologies with no names, no faces, no consequences. This isn't the flu, it's a wildfire, and you hand it down the match. The next one is called Silence. It has epigraph also. The unsaid for me exerts great power. Louise Gluck. I disagree. There's no silence. There's no power in silence. Silence equals avoidance. Silence equals compliance. Silence equals death. Generations of women have closed their mouths while fighting back tears. Generations of Blacks have closed their mouth while being treated as second-class citizens. Generations of people have prospered on the backs of the poor, stepping on voices as if they were stones. Silence is not strength. It is the tool of predators, politicians, profiteers. It keeps victims quiet and abusers safe. It's the oil in the machinery of oppression. The only way to make change is to speak out, speak your truth, call them out, break the chain. Say what was never said, shatter the myth, the silence that silence ever kept anyone safe. It's time to grab freedom, speak truth in silence. Freedom has a voice, use it. Next one is called Power Protects Predators. How can there not be an epidemic when power protects predators? When the monsters walk in through the front door of the courthouse, not cuffed, but applauded. When judges shake hands with rapists and hand out second chances, but not to survivors. When a black robe means he'll never be questioned. When the bench becomes a shield for wolves and ties. When the media calls him promising, calls her unstable. Ask what she drank, what she wore, why she stayed quiet for so many years. Of course, they say the system isn't broken, it's working exactly as designed to protect the men who built it. This isn't justice, it's choreography, a dance of delay, doubt, discredit. Power protects predators, not by accident, but by design. And we're the ones bleeding in the aftermath. I have a really short one. It's called Scars and Blooms. Don't worry about stepping on my grave. I won't feel it. The footprints that scarred my face happened while I was alive. The boots of society did that because I was a woman, because I was queer, because I spoke up, because I allowed it. The world tried for years to kill me, to bring me down, to silence me, but I became a sound it could not swallow. And the poet in me kept writing. I grew up meek and scared, but I grew into screams on the pages. I grew into words people couldn't bear to hear. Now flowers grow on me. And I had one thing to say so you all know. I've been writing a book about sexual assault for survivors. And I've been sending it all over the country, at least 15 out of 40 poems I've been sending all over the country. And for all the people that respond to me in email, then I'm sending them an actual copy of the 40-page book when it's published. So I'm asking for support. So go visit my link tree. If there's anything you can do to support the postage cost, then that would be great. If not, reach out to your local trauma center and tell them you care. Volunteer to do something for them. Thanks a lot.
Yeah, of course. I mean, and thank you. Please share that link in the chat because I don't have it in the sign up here, and I'll forward it. Okay. All right, Sam Hardy, everyone, and I will share that link tree so you can check that out. Okay. Once again, hey, welcome to our online mic. We do this every Monday. We were just tuning in. Well, say hello. It's nice to know who's here. But if you do feel like reading or performing, we have some room on the list. The link to sign up is in the description of the video. Otherwise, we're here every Monday, so maybe make plans to join us this next Monday. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and go international and tune in with our friend Julian Matthews in Malaysia. So I've already enabled the share screen option. When you are ready, Julian, take it away. Hello, good to see you. Hey.
Hi. Uh, 1,000 anythings. O poet, what shall I make of 1,000 butterflies? If I can't feel a single flutter in my heart, of what use is 1,000 floral bouquets if they can't halt this withering inside? What does it matter if there are 1,000 lit stars, if there is no sparkle in our eyes? 1,000 lines with predictable rhymes without one that truly surprises. For poet, you don't need 1,000 mirrors, only one to reflect what's really inside you. Wash away all these metaphors into the swollen ocean, the sobering sky, fling them into the forgiving wind, that abyss of the cliche-ridden. Give in to silence, hold your tongue, lie still, meditate. You don't need 1,000 of anything to exaggerate your yearnings. Not 1,000 moon kisses, eyes, tears, or any such anatomical longings. You can allocate 23,000 breaths a day. Hold a few between them and write one line to electrify two neurons into synaptic synthesis. Fire up a kiln of incandescent thoughts. Weld the merging core memory into a dendrite spine, glass blow it into one glowing sensory incantation, entangle the light of that reminiscence into an emotional feedback loop. Let its aesthetic perpetually trigger our atrial connection across space and time. For poet, you don't need 1,000 anythings to make a poem yours and mine. Dig deep, pare down, levitate us with just one vivid verse, not 1,000 songs to make us feel we belong. That's it for today. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Julian. I also have your link tree, so appreciate that. I got a lot of links to post. I have a bunch of them right now. So give me a second on that, guys. But we're gonna tune in. Carlos is here. And it's always good when Carlos gets to tune in and share a little something. I do remember you getting to share some stuff with our Poetry Month challenge that we did on our Substack. By the way, we'll be doing some new stuff pretty soon, so follow that. But Carlos, good to see you. When you're ready, go ahead and take it away. Welcome back.
Oh, hello. So this is kind of like my first time ever doing something like this. So thank you, everyone. Thank you for this opportunity. So many of the poets who have already shared their pieces have been amazing. And I'll get started. My first piece is called I Feel Like a Fish Out of Water. The giant eye in the sky stares at me with passion, soaking and memorizing every inch of scaly skin and flappy fins on my paper frame. I reflect the stigmatizing colors of blue grapes and purple skies, neatly wrapped in shades of red sand. My body becomes a desert, like watercolors on scorching pavements, boiling sweat water spots that remain dry. I hear the rafty river rushing by my side, but fins made of clay shape a short crossing into a vast valley. As I flap on stones and slap the world, I send out signals, deaf pitches on the ears of the saviors I seek. Okay, the second one. I used to think death would come condensed en una lata de tecate. An ever-present culprit en cada escena del crimen was una lata de tecate. It started como siempre, a party that got too crazy, latas littered on the floor, mi familia cantando karaoke, bailando tuda cumbias, comiendo papitas, besando sus lovers. Todo de la good life. Pero ellos nunca ven el dark side when the high is over, and the tecate cannot be contained. Desea que la veas, ¿entiendes? And I saw it, all right, in all its glory, en cubos transformada, en líquidos asquerosos, olor de rot, casi solid, con trozos, del tiempo before. Duré toda la noche next to my madre in a dark cuarto, with cracked presas in my eyes, as liquid death que venía de su boca me miraba en los ojos, convenciéndome that death had arrived. And for my last one, sandpaper rose. Sandpaper settles in your throat. Sharp minerals meet esophagus, scratching and irritating skin, tearing and exposing flesh. Every breath a scraped knee as your throat becomes a blooming rose, thorns cutting into its own pores. It starts to burn. It starts to steam. You start to taste the shape and hue of your rubbery veins. You suck in, sinking swords further into your stem. Your heart beats faster, petals spreading with every skip, thorns sinking with every bloom, pumping buckets out a mouthy room. You freeze your throat. It's calm for a moment, only for a moment. Your throat rubs over needles again and again, so you sit with the feeling, your face becoming a steaming lid as melting glaciers drown your words left unsaid. And that would be all. Thank you, everyone.
Yeah, Carlos, you made it. You finally made it. So how can people follow and support you online if they wish to do so?
You can just follow my Instagram. If you just look up my name, Carlos Torrijos, I should come up. I can just post it in the chat as well.
Yeah, please do. Hope you get to make it back, and I am still waiting for the day when you make it to one of our in-person open mics. Okay, to do that, again. That's I know it's good to have you join us on the online mic. When's that book coming out? No, that's excellent pieces. Thanks for sharing. You can also find some of the pieces that Carlos submitted for our National Poetry Month. So thanks. As soon as you get that link tree, I'll share it on our chat, our live chat. What's going on live chat? We got Kiwi in the house. What? Kiwi's in the live chat. Hey, Kiwi's going to be performing some poetry with Fernando and myself this Thursday at International. So I'm glad that you were also here to support Carlos. Very cool stuff. All right. Hopefully you can keep coming back, Carlos. All right, we're gonna stick around in El Paso, and as always, has been name dropped very early on the show and throughout the show. If you want to learn more about Tumblewords, I'll let him talk more about that. But without further ado, it's time for Mr. Monday Night. It's time for Kit Ren. So, Kit, you know what to do.
That's true. I do know what to do. Thank you so much, Richie. Thank you, everyone who read before, and happy birthday to Robin Schofield. You know, it's very funny. Some people come up to us at readings and they're like, how do you two know each other? It's like, it's a funny story. Yeah, a friend of ours, Sil, actually said to me at the Thursday mic, I'd never put together until like this year that Robin is your mom. I thought, wow, Kit's just friends with that lady. That's so nice. It's like, well, not everyone gets to be friends with their mom. It's kind of a neat thing about my life. It's mine. You can't have it. So yeah, a couple of mine and then the cover. This one's the family business. My mother wants to share in the pride of our neighbor, but feels compelled to make small amendments. It's a fine tree, she says, but it's not a mesquite. Mesquites don't flower. And do you see those thorns? Your excellent mesquite is an even better acacia. It occurs to me that this is that thing that I am asked to produce on demand, like a photo ID, a practical use for poetry. To correct affections without changing their vectors. Our love, like a contract, must be drawn with care, and in terms as specific as possible. I am proud to call this the family business, an ancient, noble, and essential trade, to mark the place of the thorns and buds, to map the trails of the wandering shadows, and to match prisms to their suited lights. Yeah. Stalin was a poet. It's true. Not exemplary, but he worked at it. You startled me, Michael. Not exemplary, but he worked at it. He tried. So there were steps even he couldn't take. He'd harass and carry away Oshut Mandelstam, part ideology, part jealousy. But he couldn't touch Mandelstam's weapon. Even a man of steel has his limits. It's actually more dangerous when the dictator likes you. Asked Mikhail Bulgakov, the reluctant director of the Moscow theater. Stalin would have kept him like a cat, but like a cat, he ran away. He couldn't handle the stakes of writing for an audience of one. But what if, one day, our great comrade Stalin changes his mind, follows a new fashion, and nothing you did or were doing meant anything at all? At least Mandelstam got to write what he wanted. A childish definition of freedom. But children get it right more often than we do. Because they don't care what happens to them. In this mad era, may we all write with the freedom of a child ignoring a crosswalk. All right, let's bring back this crowd pleaser, which still doesn't have a title. The robot that was supposed to do my laundry is painting instead. I feel no urge to be kind. It looks like shit. The robot is not discouraged at all by my berating him. Begrudgingly, I respect this. The robot has just downloaded the Impressionist expansion pack. His water lilies are uniformly blurred, regimentally dabbled under a mismatching Van Gogh sky. I tell him, your mother was a condom machine, and continued to darn my Daffy Duck socks. He doesn't have the language for this, but the robot is afraid. His precision is informed by his fear. His fear guides his parameters. His parameters lead his calculations toward what the most people will look at and say, oh, that's nice. I keep telling him, art is not nice. Art is not what people love. Art is what people need. And by the time they figure it out, it's gone. The first time that Spring Awakening was ever staged in America, the audience burned the theater down. Now it's a fucking musical. It was dangerous. Now, the rehash, it's corny. You're corny. We're supposed to be dangerous. The robot whirs and clicks like a tape deck. He doesn't understand, but he tries anyway. Begrudgingly, I see a lesson with that. Oh, okay. And for my cover poem, little tradition we have around here. Yesterday, of course, was the 6th anniversary of the shooting at the Walmart on Hopkins, the August 3rd shooting. And yesterday felt pretty normal as far as August 3rds go. And I'm not quite sure how I feel about that. I worry that, I don't know. Obviously, I want the trauma of the day to melt away, to recede, but I don't want it to be forgotten. The kind of things we're up against, the kind of things we're fighting back against, the kind of things that they're afraid of. This is 23 Reasons Why Mexicanos Can Still Be Found in a Walmart by Alessandra Narvaez Varela. After Juan Felipe Herrera's 187 Reasons Why Mexicanos Can't Cross the Border, Con Amor para los 23 del 3 de agosto del 2019, with love for the 23 of August 3rd, 2019. Because we will still travel for a Walmart weekend in Gringolandia. Because we will still buy Bic pens in bulk so they last our children until they're 21. Because we will still recognize that 7-Eleven gas lasts longer than Pemex. Because we will still smile when a dog sniffs our bags, troca or traseros. Because we will still sweat into our shoes, jeans, eyes to climb the bridge and say, American. Because we will still pack Sabritas, Bonifant, and bedpan in our cars to wait in line for hours to show our green card. Because we will still cross the Juarez to get tacos, tortas, and steaks for the best taste and price. Because we will still lick our fingers before grabbing the wheel to drive back to El Paso. Because we will still have a love-hate relationship with I-10, the kilometers turning into miles. Because we will still whisper, paciencia, when Chuco people signal right, but don't in fact exit on Hawkins to get to Walmart. Because we will still fundraise for our daughter's football team under this sun. Because we will still think maldita sea when we see the Equate brand of gain is out. Because we will still scoff at the price of avocados and think esto no puede ser aguacateas. Because we will still think we're beating the orange man by knowing where to buy what. Because we are beating him. We're La Frontera, the border. No one looks or does it like us. Because we will still say thank you and gracias, or thank you, gracias, to the cashier. Because we will still be as warm as August, the warmest turned coldest month. Because we will still give our backs to bullets so our children and spouses don't die. Because we will still feel 23 lives in our necks, cuero enchinado, but stay free. No prison or suicide watch, because we will still leave our screen, wood, and metal doors open to anyone. Because we will still walk while brown in a Walmart or Target, Sam's or Ross, and walk tall. Because why not? Because heart. Because God. Because mighty Mexican super raton. Because human. Because Adolfo Ceros Hernandez and Sarah Esther Regalado Muriel, Alexander Gerhard Hoffman, Andre Anchondo and Jordan Anchondo, Angie Englesby, Arturo Benavides, David Johnson, Elsa Mendoza de la Mora, Gloria Irma Marquez, Ivan Filiberto Manzano, Javier Ramir Rodriguez, Jorge Calvillo Garcia, Juan de Dios Velázquez Chaires, Leo Campos and Maribel Hernandez, Luis Alfonso Juarez, Margie Record, Maria Eugenia Legarreta Roth, Maria Flores and Raúl Flores, Teresa Sanchez, Guillermo Garcia. Okay. All right. So Tom Words, this Saturday will be Robin Schofield. We'll keep it in the family. August 16th will be Lee Martinez Soto. Lee, if you're watching this, I need your title. Andres, if you're watching this, tell Lee to give me their title. August 23rd will be Sandy Torres, who I just saw in the YouTube chat. The very fun workshop and the planned theme is around Tom Waits songs. I know we got some fans in here, so make sure to clear a space for August 23rd. And for every Saturday, not August 30th. That's Labor Day weekend. Joe Hill didn't die for nothing. We'll take that off. But yes, the Tumblewords Project, we're a generative writing workshop on Saturdays. And yeah, we're holding it down at BWOMS. 28 hours a day, 9 days a week. 37 days a month. That's me and Richie. Mostly Richie. All right. Back to you when you're ready, Richie.
All right, let's do this. Thank you, Kit. Appreciate all that. And I want to thank everyone who's been watching so far and leaving comments. Love you guys. All right, we're going to go ahead and we have a few more left. So if you can stick around, right now we're going to go to Washington, D.C., where we've got the Mr. Fantastic, Mr. Ed Poetastic. Go ahead and take it when you're ready.
Think my brother like no other words like thunder. And first, we have a birthday. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to Miss Robin. Happy birthday to you. And many more. Woohoo. I love the hat, Stormy. Feliz cumpleaños. Woo! My name is Ed Potasco, feeling fantastic. Please get in time so you can join my rhyme file filled supply. I got one short piece and 3 kind of long pieces, so I would take too much time. The first piece is called The Vile Beast. Depression haunts us, nibbling away till we burst. The beast sleeps in our caves, making us slaves towards our graves. The beast quickens pace, to maul our warm embrace. We can't let that beast win. Your negativity needs to end. Kill the beast with positivity. This isn't an eternal travesty. Make it choke on your love. Let it drown from the love above. The beast is living in your mind. Why not roundhouse kick it in the behind? It's living absolutely rent-free. So let it gulp down your glee. Remember, there is light in the darkness. Don't dwell in your curse, then the bliss. Happiness found every day like this. Please cherish the bright sun's lavender radiant kiss. Thank you. This is called Ode. Let's celebrate you for everything you do. Thank you very much. It's okay to openly blush. Why are you thanking me? You're the ode in my poetry. Our person don't know you, but not sadly blue. I don't know your name, yes, but I'm not ashamed. Do you know the rain that washed away the pain? Do you know the sun who is the pinnacle of fun? Do you know the earth never stops giving birth? Do you know the wind that tickles your chin? Do you know the sea that's balanced and free? Do you know the seeds that grows for your needs? Do you know the stars shooting near and far? Do you know your house or that pesky little mouse? I'm trying to prove a point. I don't have a PowerPoint. You know what I mean? Please be more green. I'm just showing you love as the skies rain down above. I know I sound strange, but I'm not deranged. I'm not high on weed or blinded by greed. I'm not selling you anything because it's love or nothing. Don't be too judgmental. It's about heart, not mental. I'm showing you my appreciation. You're a perfect model of creation. You're not perfect, but you try. You're a lovely woman or guy. Thank you. My other piece is called Silence. The silence haunts me. The sound is set free. The darkness covers my eyes. It feels like I'm going to die. I felt this way before. She pranced out the door. I could still remember her face. She took away my warm grace. Sorry, would you please come back? That's when I suffered a heart attack. I was recollecting these feelings, yet the emotions kept on reeling. I felt stranded in the vast jungle, or a dog with a tight muzzle. Darkness, my close old friend, I knew I couldn't meet you again. I wished for beats, music, or sounds to help me off the cold ground. I'm rooted to the frigid floor, reflecting on my smashed core as I ponder in silence in my room, cocoon away, nestled in my tomb. Someone suffering in pain or gotten hit by a speedy train. I understand I couldn't complain. What the hell would I freaking gain? I may be stuck in absolute silence. Life shines away with defiance. The sun kisses my cheek. I stop pretending I'm weak. I quickly stand on my 2 feet. My gray days haven't gone bleak. Thank you. And last and not first is called First and Last. We're always behind the back of our minds. We can't stay blind by the rushing tide. We're all winners. We're all beginners. We are not losers. We're not snoozers. We have unique skills. We can help or kill. We send chills or thrills. We, the queens or kings of the hill. Don't be belittled by society. They don't stand variety. They don't stand who you are. You're a bright, shining star. Please stop having high expectations. When I go on a stress-free vacation, who are you trying to impress? Don't press for progress. You want to be like everyone else? You're a book on the global bookshelf. Why can't you appreciate you? Maybe you need to change your view. Why must you outdo everyone? The moon isn't outdoing the sun. Everything isn't a competition. It's not in life's grand definition. Maybe you point the telescope within. Be your cheerleader and your friend. You don't live twice but once. Be an happy sage than arrogant dunce. Thank you.
Thank you, Ed. Awesome, awesome. Where can people follow and support you online?
Well, you can follow me, support me online. Welcome to this wonderful, stupendous, magnificent BWOMS open mic that makes everyone's money light such a light in the wonderful, fantastic spotlight. All right, but if you want to follow me, please feel free. My Facebook's Eddie Foreman, and if you want my IG, please DM me. But anyway, if the mic is right, I'll be sharing my fantastic insight. If you send any requests, you take guests. The answer is yes. Hope everyone stays safe, healthy, and blessed. Never stop spewing one word outside your chest. And always remember, life is not a contest. If you don't know, now you know how I love this show. And never stop your glow and never stop your flow. If you don't know, now you know how I love this wonderful, stupendous, magnificent, fantastic show.
Awesome. Oh, Ed, you went off book today. Changed a little
Hope
bit.
you
I
like
love
my
it.
wordplay.
The variations, yeah. As you know, we always get the bonus poem and the closing. Yeah, Ed, fantastic, everyone. Go follow him. Okay, so as always, we have a closer to the show. He must be summoned mental telepathically. All right,
Give me
so
a minute.
with that, of course, you need a minute. I don't know what a minute means, Dan. Um, Okay, so really quick recap of the week once more, especially for those some people were messaging me on different accounts. But tomorrow we'll be downtown at Mona Bar. Sign up starts at 8 p.m. Show starts after 9. Come on by. There's food if you want to eat there. Hot dogs and tater tots with a variety of toppings. There's also the Bang Bang and the Tap, which you can order and bring in as well. Wednesday, we're gonna have Storycraft. Scheduling conflict. We are going to be at a temporary space. We will be back at Crown of Crows, I think, in 2 weeks. But for now, we'll be meeting at Power at the Pass. So it'll be a little different. And if you have questions about that, you can just shoot me a message at the BWOMS page or my personal one. Thursday is Jazz and Poetry Night at International. And that starts at 9. That's from 9 to 11:30 p.m. Looking forward to that one. You know, live music, a little bit of poetry. Come through and support that because it is a unique thing. You don't get to see it a whole lot often around town. And then, of course, Friday we have our roulette recitations at Giovanni and Bronson's. Sign up starts at 7. Show will start around 8:30. Remember that one, you do have to be present though. We want that night to kind of keep on moving, and Giovanni and Bronson is open specifically for us that night. So hopefully you can come by and support the business. Like I said, they do a lot to support the community. You know, they always have artists on the wall and have events. They just opened up a new spot right next to Old Cheap Dog Brewery on 3900 Rosa in South Central. Okay, so that was definitely more than a minute. Dan, are you ready? It's making dinner. This is fun. I love waiting. All right, Dan, I'm gonna go ahead and put you on the spotlight. Take it away. Hey, nice shirt, man.
Very cool. Thank you. Well, you should know yesterday. Thank you, kid. Yesterday marked 6 years of the tragedy. So we lost 23 of our own. Yep. God rest their souls. Just give me a minute. Hold on. Let me set this up. Okay. Hold on. All right, hold on. Okay, I'm sorry. Yeah. I'm trying to set this thing. All right, hold on a minute. Okay, thank you. Okay, I hope I got this one. I'm trying to screenshot this. All right, yeah, hold on. Give me a sec, give me a sec. Okay, hope I got this. Okay. I wrote this a few years back, and yeah, so that's in honor of this tragedy. It was originally called 22 Down. Well, now it's 23. Well, which was confirmed, which was confirmed, 5 years ago. So 22 down, well, 23 down. Yes. As in honor of the victims of the tragedy. Yes. Why our hometown? Why my hometown? Never, sadly, the damage is done. Never expect this day would come. We will never forget this fateful day. Yes, the tragedy brought from outside. Why the hate brought? Why the hate brought from the outside? Why the outside? How does it feel? How can we deal? How can we heal from this tragedy? All we can do is pray. Me, Blossom Gray, tragedy at bay, at this sad day. Yes. Well, since we gotta have faith, since we gotta stay strong, we can't. Oh, hold on a minute. Okay, yeah. Okay. I think I wrote it. I think I read it wrong here. It's supposed to be yeah, here it is. I'm sorry. Let me start over. I'm sorry about that. El Paso, Texas, best in the far west Texas. My hometown, our hometown. Still best of the 915. We alive. Come back to the five. Come back to the five. .5 KLEQ 95.5 rocks. Yeah. Yeah. Well, even though I create this blog, we'll start with land, sugar and steel, land here. We have BWOMS here, 306 here, state line here, and fifth largest city in Texas, 19th largest city in the U.S. According to Glenn Fry. You belong to the city. Yes, so safest city in the U.S. Oh, so we thought. But then the unexpected plot until one day became the tragic day in our hometown's history. Yep, code red, 1013, shots fired, 22 down, repeat, 22 down. Yeah. Glenn Fry, you belong to the city. Yeah. 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 It's Frey. Yeah. God rest his soul. Our hometown down. We were frowned. How can we turn our frowns around? Never expect this. We would become another town like Orlando, Las Vegas, Parkland, Thousand Oaks, Virginia Tech, Pittsburgh, Santa Fe, Texas, Sutherland Spring, Texas, Plano, Dallas, Baton Rouge, San Bernardino, Charleston, Fort Hood, Aurora, Tucson, Columbine, DC, among others. But yeah, years later, Atlanta, Boulder, and Forward, Sandy Hook, Uvalde. Yeah, yeah. 22 down. Why our hometown? Why hometown? Never expected they would come. We will never forget this fateful day. Sadly, the damage is done. Why the tragedy bought from the outside? Why the hate bought from the outside? Why the outside? How does it feel? How does it feel? How can we deal? How can we heal from this tragedy? All we can do is pray. Just saw gray. I just saw gray tragedy at bay on this day. All we gotta do is have faith. We gotta stay strong. We can't go wrong. El Paso, we belong. We still need to stay. We still need to. We need to sing a song, because it cannot be a swan song to heal, to deal, to stay strong. We can't go back. Let this town, our town, let us turn our frowns around and represent our hometown, my hometown, our hometown. And according to the Midsummer Night's Dream, Act 3, Scene 2, their sense thus weak, lost with their fears thus strong, made senseless things, begin to do them wrong. Yeah. Never wrong. Always. Always. My screen? There we go. El Paso strong. Yes. El Paso strong. Okay. Man, 6 years we never forgot. Well, it was originally 22. Now it's still 23. So, yeah, we'll never forget this fateful day. Yesterday. Now it's been 6 years now. So. Okay. Well, just to let you guys know, I'll be out of town. I hope to tune in this one next Monday. And well, I leave Thursday back to the Dallas Fort Worth area, and I should be coming home next Wednesday. So yeah, I should be turning in on Monday. Just to let you guys know. All right, guys. Thank you very much, everybody. You have a great night. God bless, and always El Paso strong. Okay, Richie, let's go ahead and call it a night.
All right. Thank you, Dan, for that tribute. Really quick, I want to point another thing out. Uh, David Dorado Romo's newest book, Borderlands and the Mexican American Story. Even though he wrote it for more young adults, I think it's worth checking out. He covers a lot of history in the region. Towards the end, he touches on the shooting, and he actually quotes a poem of a friend, Maria Skinka, who her and her sister read at the poetry night the other day. So I'm gonna end with her poem, Maria's, that is, who's currently on the West Coast, I believe San Francisco, doing teaching, writing, about to get published for the first time. This one is called The Hispanic Invasion of Texas, which is echoed from the manifesto, but none of that. Here's the poem. How much history is enough history before the word invasion echoes inside a Walmart at the border? A white man drives 10 hours to slaughter. La Frontera, a vision of my people, buried. The hours wrap around us like disjointed mouths. They ask, ¿Estás bien? ¿Dónde estás? Ten cuidado. The Rio Grande eddies into hymns of mercy. Headlines fall like a guillotines. 22 killed, 24 injured. To survive, but to fear your home is another kind of violence. Overnight, El Paso becomes a site of remembrance. It could have been my brother. It could have been my mother. A row of white crosses alights on the asphalt. Under the honeysuckled sky, the lilac mountains carve the names of the murdered. In another elsewhere, pink-fleshed men and women brandish their Glocks. A whole city folds into itself. Rosaries bloom into grief. How much history is enough history before terror resurrects in the body of another white man? So that's Maria Esquinca. It was nice to see her recently again at one of our poetry mics. This is in David Dorado Romo's book, Borderlands and the Mexican American Story. Highly recommend if you live in El Paso, get a copy. You can also meet the author because David does so many great things in the city as well, including not what classes that he's been teaching on Tuesdays, as well as philosophy. Thanks for everyone for tuning in. Hope everyone has a great week. We have an event, something for everyone this week. So hope to see you at least at one of them. And if not, we're here every Monday for the online mic. For everyone, my name is Rich, and we will see you guys when we see you. Peace.